John. Don't have any wrestling experience. I'm a big fan. Former football player. Just too small to keep on playing football. I've always loved wrestling. I finally got a chance to come down to school, so I'll try it out, see what it's all about.
It don't matter, 'cause they don't like the clothes she wears. Don't like the color of her hair.
What's good, everybody? So we're here back on the video. We're back on the video channel. And today's video, we're doing another random talk video in today's video on the channel. And today's video, of course, we're going to be talking about, of course, my favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena. Now, if you guys do not know or haven't been keeping up everything, as I'm currently recording this, it's December 20th of 2025. So it's about a week since John Cena retired from wrestling. Um, obviously, obviously a lot of people have given their thank you and gratitude to John Cena already, and gave their side of the stories of John Cena, how poor they were in their childhood. Me personally, I haven't got mine yet, you know what I'm saying, because I've been holding off of it because of other content on the channel, but also I've been holding off for a lot of shit. So, this right here, it hits different. You know what I'm saying? I give my thanks to Sting. Of course, he was one of my favorite. You know, Sting the wrestler. He was one of my favorite wrestler growing up as a kid. Derrick Rose, one of my favorite basketball player growing up as a kid too as well. You know what I'm saying? But compared to these two, they're not as like important figure than John Cena, in my opinion, because it's John Cena's my favorite wrestler of all time. To me, he's my GOAT, the greatest of all time. Like I said, there'll never be another John Cena and all that. And this was gonna be a very heartfelt thank you to John Cena from my heart and everything. Because I have a lot more memories than from John Cena than from Sting and Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? But Derrick Rose and Sting were part of my childhood, but John Cena was even more part of my childhood. So um, I want to give my thank you to John Cena and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because he just fought Gunther in his last match, December 13th of 2025, I believe. It was Saturday night main event. Yeah, it was 2000 it was 2025, right? It was December 13th. I'm gonna go check real quick. Let me see. Yeah, December 13th of 2025. So it's December 20th or 2025 as I'm recording this. So it's been like a week. Like shit has gone so fast. Like Christmas around the corner and everything. Like it's insane. And of course I had to talk about this, give my thoughts and opinions on this whole entire situation, and get you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'll talk about the whole entire last John Cena last run and everything else, but probably say it to the next video. This video, I want to give my gratitude to thank you, John Cena, and everything he has done for me in my life, and to many others too as well, but also with all the memories and everything else. Um, you know what I'm saying, and I want to do that, you know what I'm saying, because of how much he was important to me in my life. So, um, yeah, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to see where we can go from there. And yeah, man, let's not waste no time, you know what I'm saying. Let's give our thank you to John Cena, talk about, all the memories I got from John Cena growing up as a kid and I was a 25-year-old man. I gotta give my gratitude and thank you because there's so many. I have so many on the list. Like I like so many on the list, and I want to talk about based off of my experience from John Cena and everything else. So yeah, so here we go. So obviously, now I honestly don't. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I expected John to retire at some point. I really did. I thought maybe 2022, maybe 2023. I thought maybe John was gonna be done. I thought maybe after he lost against Roman Reigns, the last time they fought against each other, I thought John was gonna hang up his boots and retire there because he was so much like foot on the door in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And his wrestling career was outside the door. You know what I'm saying? Because he wrestled over 20 plus years. I was just thinking, oh, he's gonna face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, but was it 2024 or 2023? I can't remember, but it was one of those years, and I thought, okay, well, he's gonna lose against Roman Reigns, right? He's gonna pass the torch to Roman Reigns, because he was on the tribal chief run, and obviously he's gonna hang up the boots and retire. At some point, I did had like he was gonna retire at some point. You know what I'm saying? But I guess the retirement tour started in 2024. When he made that announcement, he was gonna retire. Um, and his retirement tour started from 2024 all the way towards the end of 2025. And yeah, it was a bumpy ride, let's just say at least. But we're gonna talk about that in the next video. But yeah, I knew at some point he was gonna retire. I was just wondering when, but I guess now is the right time for him to retire. In my opinion, I thought he was gonna. I thought Roman Reigns versus John Cena would be a perfect retirement for him, but I guess he kept on going, and now it's retirement. But that's not here, it's not there. Um, yeah, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, but let's see. There's so many memories I have with John Cena. Like I say, going back, I was like 3 years old when I started watching wrestling. I was around the time where Ruthless Aggression around the time. They started moving on from Attitude Era to Ruthless Aggression. Um, I remember those times when you had Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Triple H, and his Reign of Terror. RVD, Undertaker went badass mode with the American Badass. Big Show when his theme music, one of the best theme music I've heard in my life. It was pretty cool. And it has so many people that came from that era, that came from that era that fit in the Ruthless Aggression era so quickly. You would think that, oh man, people going from Attitude Era, going to the Ruthless Aggression era, they're fitting in so great. And then you have John Cena. You have John Cena. You know what I'm saying? You have other people too as well, like Batista, Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? And of course, a lot of people that came from Ruthless Aggression era, and they started becoming like very popular. You know what I'm saying? At all those times, but John Cena hit very, very different. And what's crazy about this, you know what I'm saying? When I first when I first saw John Cena, when I saw John Cena, like when I first was a fan of watching television, you know what I'm saying? I look at the screen, I see John Cena. He was in this outfit, like he was like a white dude who dressed up as like he's black or something like that, like this outfit. And I hear like Michael Cole saying, call him the Doctor Thugonomics. I'm like, the Doctor what? The Doctor Thugonomics. I was like, how is that possible? You can't be a doctor. You mean he's not wearing a doctor goddamn suit or whatever. Like if you are a doctor, should you wear a suit? Like I was a kid at the time. Like I was just getting to wrestling. I didn't understand what a doctor or thug means mixed together. I didn't know what they was doing with John Cena at the time until I started like as I grew up, I started realizing, oh, so that's what Doctor Thugonomics mean. He was just they were just being it was they were trying to mix with Doctor and then Thugonomics. I mean, he's really a white dude trying to act like he's black, like he's a thug or something, which is crazy to think about. You know, what I'm saying is at that time, what I'm saying it was just like all mixed up. You know, what I'm saying, but it grew up on me because like his bars and so my skills were on top, 10 out of 10. Like one of the biggest thing when it comes to wrestling, in my opinion, is your mic. You gotta get that the attention from the crowd, whether it's good or bad. Um, and he got that attention from the crowd for his mic skills. His wrestling, it wasn't the best in the world. Wasn't as good like Rey Mysterio's wrestling or Eddie's or Chris Benoit's or Kurt Angle's wrestling. But his wrestling, it felt normal, plain, smooth, nice, boring compared to other wrestlers we got today. You know what I'm saying? Well, not a lot of wrestlers, but there's certain wrestlers that have boring matches or just not fit in compared to John. At that time when John wrestled, when he came around, it was normal. It was normal for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It was plain and simple. It fit his style. You know what I'm saying? He got his little "You Can't See Me." They had a FU. He had the special move called FU, kind of like you carry him in fireman, and he throw the person to the ground, which is pretty unique, and it's also safe too as well, which is pretty cool move. F you can't see me. He always taunt with those little shoes, like he got some little shoe screens, and he buckled them up a little bit. That's one of my favorite things I like to do as a kid. I always like every time I tie my shoes before I go to school, I always buckle my shoes up, like I'm ready to like do the FU. Well, now it's known as add to adjustment. You know what I'm saying? Um, Funny part about this was, yeah, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that time. It was pretty funny and cool. You know what I'm saying? Because, uh, you know what I'm saying, I was. I was one of those kids that adored and respected John Cena for what he done. You know what I'm saying? And that Dr. Thugonomics was one of my favorite gamers of all time. You know, so it was really really good. Rapping, you know what I'm saying? He was a heel when I first became a fan of him. Then he's all certainly it was that one episode, and it was before the Survivor Series, before Team Brock versus Team Angle. Um, Paul Heyman wanted that John Cena join his team. And John said, "Nope, I ain't joining your team. You know, I'm not going to join full of Sasquatch, whatever." He was roasting the hell out of them, and then A Trade attacked him, and now it forced upon him to turn face, and he became a face. Ever since then, he never turned back being a heel. Although I would have loved him to turn back heel before, this heel run, but we're not gonna get into it. But that was it. He turned face, but he was growing on people a lot at that point. People already like liking John Cena and putting up the "You Can't See Me" sign, the World Life sign. You know what I'm saying? It was already growing people like from the when he was a heel, he was started growing a lot on people too as well. Keep this in mind. He had really good matches with Brock Lesnar while he was heel for the WWE Championship. Was the first time they met. Well, kind of, but that was Brock Lesnar and John Cena they met while John Cena was like in a trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like a little trunk. He had like zero gimmick, whatever. But like he was like that ruthless aggression trunk, whatever. But really kicked off their feud was when him and Brock was going against each other for the WWE Championship. Brock was WWE Champion at the time. John Cena was a bona fide heel, Dr. Thugonomics. And he had some so he had potential right there. And you know what I'm saying, him against Kurt Angle, that little debut, he got the little ruthless aggression. That's where a lot of people get that ruthless aggression from because of this shit. And a lot of people said that the reason why ruthless aggression started because of John Cena, because he said that word, ruthless aggression. That's what it came from. And for that reason, I'm like, that makes sense because y'all did not know The Rock. The reason why Friday Night SmackDown or the SmackDown was came thing because The Rock said laying the SmackDown, whooping the candy ass. That's why SmackDown was born, and ruthless aggression was born because of maybe John Cena made that ruthless aggression. It was pretty cool. It makes sense at the time too as well. They need to get away from the Attitude Era and move into the ruthless aggression one. And perfect. You know what I'm saying? They got the person to do that. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, Garango, the debut, Dr. Thugonomics. Obviously he did pretty good. Him versus Eddie Guerrero too as well. Dude, I'll never forget that match. That street brawl match, bro. Him versus Eddie in that street brawl match was so good, bro. We don't get street brawl matches no more. I'm so mad, bro. That feud, I feel that was like the first feud that John Cena needed to really get people's attention. He was a heel at the time. He was getting attention, but he needed more of that attention. He needed someone who was just as good, who is like the one of the most like charismatic, one of the most face people in the company. And Eddie Guerrero was the perfect guy for him. Mind you, Eddie, no matter if you turn face or heel, this dude was lied, cheating, stealing. He still will be like cheered and he was cheered like there was no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? He was in the heel sort of, but then they immediately turned him face. He was just as a lovable character and lovable person for everybody in the crowd. Then John came into the mix. And boy, the heel and John thing between him and Eddie, it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? It was just perfect between Eddie and John. They had a fight back and forth. John was going after his United States Championship because Eddie was the United States Championship at the time because Stephanie brought the championship back, made a tournament. He beat Chris Benoit. Eddie Guerrero beat Chris Benoit to become the United States Champion. He defended that title with honor and dignity. And then John came into the mix. And he may have had a case here and there to try to beat Eddie Guerrero for the championship, but then he lost. He lost. He lost, and it was in the way he lost though. It was in the street brawl. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty cool because I remember he had that Brian Archer, the Chicago Bears, jersey and everything. It was amazing. We don't get brawls like that. We don't get a street brawl or parking lot brawl matches no more. Like I really wish he had that back, but that at that time. That was pretty cool. Now keep this in mind. That was important. People don't understand that was important. That skyrocketed John Cena's, trajectory. A lot of people say, "Oh, he might be the real deal." Yeah, he might be the real deal. And then he went against Brock Lesnar. They started to slowly push this dude to be really good. Then the Survivor Series, Team Angle versus Team, Brock match. Like he was really heavily getting booked, like they to be this next guy. You know what I'm saying? But at the time Brock was still here. He was still the next, next big thing. Then we go to it's like as time goes on and on and on. Obviously, John, he started to get popular, more popular. People started doing the world live. You can't see me. He was a bona fide face for years to come. You know what I'm saying? And he was just getting popular. Like it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Then of course, the Royal Rumble. I think the Royal Rumble where Chris Benoit won. John Cena got eliminated by Big Show, and he ended up getting hurt while that whole thing happened. He twisted his knee, and he fucked it up. I was like, damn. And I thought I saw the angle of it. I was like, "Ooh, he might have tore the knee or something like that." No, I guess he probably didn't tore it. And still, despite that, he still came out. He still, gave Big Show the run of his money because at the time, Big Show had the United States Championship, and now he wants his, want his match against him. You know what I'm saying? And so John Cena and Big Show happened at WrestleMania 20 in New York, and it was a pretty good match. Well, decent match, not too bad though. It was a decent match. John Cena hit. John Cena would hit him with the FU. It was John Cena's first WrestleMania match, and Big Show first ever WrestleMania match defending a title. He never defended a title before. He's been in WrestleMania matches, but never defended a title. So this was huge for John Cena and Big Show at the same time. But John Cena was going over, beat Big Show, with the brass knuckles, and then gave him the FU, and then 1, 2, 3, his first championship of many, and it was that was to me one of the best memories of John Cena right there because like they were building this dude up to be the guy in SmackDown, and Brock was out the door. He was out the door at this time, and they needed somebody to be next up, and John was going to be the next up. I knew for the moment that he won the United States Championship, it's only a matter of time for the giving the WWE Championship. They just need to like they were slowly giving him time. You know what I'm saying? And they gave him time and all that, and they was doing everything they can to protect this dude at all costs. And I don't blame him. I would protect him too as well. You know what I'm saying? So for that reason alone, um, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool for that part. He went on to have like a best of five series with Booker T to get back the United States Championship. Then I think Carlito beat him. I think Carlito beat him to take his United States Championship off of him. No, wait, hold on a second. No, I think I remember. Kurt Angle vacated his championship. Booker T ended up winning it back. Then he ended up beating Booker T. No, Booker T to win the best of five series. Carlito came make his debut, beat him to take his championship off of John Cena to make the debut, which is the United States Championship, of course. And then, of course, he got it back. And then the whole entire Orlando Jordan situation happened with him in JBL, while he was going after JBL's WWE Championship. And right then and there, I knew that this was going to happen. I was like, oh, shoot, so he's going to be WWE champion. So right there and there, he went on to be a really good United States champion at the time with the spinning belt and everything, which I know a lot of people don't like that belt, but I personally like that belt. So, you know what I'm saying? And they trashed it, you know what I'm saying? And then he went on to go against JBL, right? JBL, this arch enemy, this wrestling god. I love JBL. Shout out JBL. One of the most underrated heels of all time in wrestling in general. This dude was amazing. And he ended up he ended up going against JBL. Batista, that infamous Royal Rumble where Batista and John Cena, that was one of the best endings in the Royal Rumble history. I thought John was going to win that Royal Rumble, but then I realized, oh no, Batista's here. Keep this in mind. The Evolution having their own issues, with Randy Orton obviously becoming the youngest champion. Then Triple H won it back, and he kept the title since then. Well, he lost against, yeah, he kept the title ever since then, and he's been trying to, end, Batista's career and try to destroy him. You know what I'm saying? But then he was originally was gonna go after JBL for the WWE Championship, but then he heard that we plan on try to put the hit on Batista because because we don't want the guy to go after us. Batista heard about it, and then Batista powerbombed Triple H on the table, and he went after him for the World Championship. Triple H after the World Championship. Meanwhile, John Cena was going after JBL, and right there and there, him and Kurt Angle had that one last match against each other. Well, they still have matches against each other as time goes on. He ended up beating Kurt Angle to go against JBL, and that feud between him and JBL was so amazing. All the way up to WrestleMania, I love how Teddy Long handled that feud. Shout out to Teddy Long. They couldn't put their hands on each other, so they played mind games. So John Cena started playing mind games. This is where he started playing mind games. He started to wreck his limousine, his cow limousine, and all that. He started to try to really get into JBL's head, and JBL don't like him because he's not wrestling professional. He's not this guy that he should not represent because he doesn't dress right. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's what JBL's trying to do because he doesn't dress right. You know what I'm saying? And I remember this a promo he did against JBL before they had that match. He said it's not about what suit and ties, about what we do type shit. It was something like that. And when he said that, it was with a passion, and I knew straight up right then and there he was gonna win the championship. Then they had that championship at WrestleMania 21. I think it was in Hollywood, or was it WrestleMania 22? I think it was WrestleMania 21. It was in Hollywood. He beat JBL to win the WWE Championship. That was my favorite moment with John Cena. Him winning his first championship was my favorite moment because right there and there, his time was officially now. His time was now. It's very simple when you make that music. His time is now. By the way, I still have that music. Every time I go work out, I always listen to that music because it reminds me of John Cena a lot. Um, uh, that that uh, that theme song, "The Time Is Now," it was very clear that they was gonna book this guy to become a champion. And they did end up doing that. You know, bringing up the spinning belt, which means the greatest championship belt that has ever been put in the company. I don't care what anyone says. But you know what I'm saying? And it was pretty cool, you know what I'm saying, to see that. And I'm just happy that to see that happen to John Cena. That was my favorite moment, John Cena. Him win the WWE Championship and just straight up just go right there and there. Then of course he ended up getting he ended up going against JBL in the Judgment Day match. You know, say their final match against each other. Of course, JBL did not like the fact that John has a spinning belt and JBL has the undisputed championship at the time. You know what I'm saying? So they went against each other in an I Quit match, one of the most bloodiest match in WWE history. I'm very shocked that they did not put that match in the freaking WWE Vault. I hope they put that in there because y'all need to see that match. That match was so bloody. And I mean, so good, but also bloody. Like, it really determined who was going to be the one to give up. And spoiler alert, JBL ended up giving up, and then John Cena, but winning, going to Raw, and you know, because obviously Batista went to SmackDown. Obviously, if y'all don't know, on this infamous night when Jericho was wondering who was going to be the first like draft pick of Raw, John Cena was draft picked to Raw, and this was his first Raw appearance like ever, and it happened in St. Louis, Missouri. It happened in my hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Man, I was so fucking happy that John Cena was coming to Monday Night Raw. I was like, yes, go, man! I could just come home, watch John Cena Monday Night Raw without worry about going to SmackDown Thursday night. Well, it eventually turned to Friday night, but Thursday I had to worry about this shit. I was like, let's fucking go! I was so happy, man. So yeah, that happens, and then he started to go on being a dominant Super Cena, you might say, a run. You know what I'm saying? Um, Started having really great runs and everything, and then his acting career started popping up with the whole Marine stuff and everything else. And then of course, um, his first, like I would say, his first challenging feud that he's been challenged by, you know what I'm saying? And it was Edge, man. This is how I became a fan of Edge. Like Edge literally cashed in the Money in the Bank to basically cash in against John Cena, beat John Cena in a New Year's Revolution pay per view, and let's just say, yeah, it was one of the best moments I've seen in my life because Edge literally became that guy to like finally. Everybody at the time was sick and tired of John Cena and Super Cena shit, so it was like finally, thank God, Edge took the title off of him, only for him to lose the title back to John Cena and then have a back and forth between him and John Cena and this feud that's been going on. And John Cena and I think it was rated R. You know what I'm saying? Like Edge with his little spinning belt. You know, his own version with the rated R spinning belt is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was really awesome. You know what I'm saying, to see that happening. And yeah, that feud. I think John Cena need that feud, and I think everybody, like Edge, need that feud for him to get be that like that top guy. Because a lot of people said Edge at the time was the top guy. I agree, he was. He was a top guy, and that's how I became an Edge fan because literally he cashed in to get John Cena. I was one of those people that wanted John Cena to lose at some point. You know, so give him somebody else to rub, and thank God that they gave the Edge the plug to lose, and yeah, that was a really good feud. It was one of my favorite feuds of all time, along with John Cena and all that type of stuff. Then my favorite feud of all time happened. You know what I'm saying? Him versus Randy Orton. Oh my gosh. I still can't get over the fact that Randy Orton with that low cut, man, feel like he got out of prison or something like that. Like that dude was a menace to society. I thought Randy might have killed someone when he had the low cut, like with no facial hair, low cutted, like he just came out like prison, like so like he ready to kill somebody already with a knife or something. But him versus John Cena, and at this time they was moving to the PG era, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena needed that guy, needed another rivalry to like boost him up. Also, Randy needed that rivalry to get him back into the title scene. Well, eventually he was the WWE champion at the time, but he was trying to get into that that prove that he's not just any wrestler. He's not just a Viper killer or the Viper or the Legend killer. You know what I'm saying? He's Randy Orton. He's that good. He's that demise. I don't know if you forget the time that he punched John Cena's dad right in the face. That was sick as fuck. That right there lets you know everything you need to know about Randy Orton. Why he's not to be fucking around. That's what I like about Randy Orton. Um, and then, they had they feud back and forth, you know what I'm saying? The bragging rights I quit match and the Iron Man match. Oh my god. I That was a good match. And then the tables match, like there was so many like Randy Orton, John Cena's like matches, like no matter how like no matter wherever they are in, whether it's the PG era or the Attitude PG era, Ruthless Aggression era, no matter what the matches are, bro, dude, they always put on really good top notch matches on a consistent basic, you know what I'm saying? And it always been really, really good, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, it's pretty impressive, so I'm happy about that. That's my favorite feud of all time, John Cena and Randy Orton. Um, and then I think he picked up with Edge, I believe so too as well. Saying he picked up with Edge. I think him and Edge had that feud. I think I remember that one when Edge was a world champion. John Cena was going after World Heavyweight Championship, and he ended up beating Big Show, picking him up, and basically FU to John, FU, you know what I'm saying? And obviously he beat Big Show and Edge to win that championship at that WrestleMania 25th anniversary. I forgot what the WrestleMania was, but um, was it WrestleMania 25? I don't know. I don't remember. But I do know is that that WrestleMania was pretty good too as well for the most part. But John ended up beating them. Then Edge had their feud, and obviously that infamous Big Show throwing fucking John Cena to the fucking light posting. I was like, damn, I thought they killed him, but no, he was all right though. But that's not here, that's not there. Obviously, that was that. And, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, who I could think of, like I can't remember, but obviously he had to go PG, of course. You know what I'm saying, with the whole entire PG era thing. You know what I'm saying, trying to keep PG and everything else. Um, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people tuned off the wrestling at this time. I believe so. A lot of people like don't care about wrestling as much. Oh, John Cena wins every time. It's getting annoying. Me personally, like I said, I was ride or die for John Cena. I didn't care if he was winning or not winning. I was always ride or die for John Cena. But I do understand why people get annoyed sometimes when he does win or lose, or when he does win all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting that rub of losing, you know what I'm saying? I understand that, but you also got to understand that was Vince's boy. That was Vince dude. He was a Vince man dude. I was pride and joy. You know what I'm saying? He cared more about John Cena than his son-in-law, which was Triple H. So it's like that was his boy. So you can't get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's winning all the time. But I do understand why people were saying, "Let's go, Cena. Cena suck." Obviously, it started in the PG era. People cannot stand John Cena. People can't stand John Cena. It was a mix, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that John embraced that shit, he didn't care about that shit. He embraced the hate above the hate and everything else. He didn't care. He did not mind. He was just, saying, you know what? Let me just go ahead and deal with the hate. It's part of the program. It's part of the territory. It's very clear people don't like me. Very clearly that some people like me. And people who are going to ride and die with me, I appreciate you guys for that. And there's going to be some that are going to hate you. So it is what it is. He did with that with the territory, then moved on. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And then you got that CM Punk versus John Cena feud. Oh my gosh. I think the wrestling world, not just WWE, but wrestling world, need to get that feud. That feud, That pipe bomb changed everything in wrestling. A lot of people came back to the wrestling because of that pipe bomb, because they found a wrestler that was a voice, like it stood up to John Cena, but also can stood up to WWE for what they stand for. They care so much pushing John Cena than actually pushing wrestler that really needed. It was like CM Punk was that voice of the voiceless, and that infamous Money in the Bank match. People said that was John Cena's best match and CM Punk's best match. You know what I'm saying? And they rocked the house out in Chicago, Illinois. CM Punk ended up beating John Cena to walk away from WWE for a brief moment. And then I don't know why they made this tournament. And Rey Mysterio won the whole damn tournament, and I feel bad for Rey Mysterio for this one. This is why a lot of people hate John Cena more, because Rey won the whole damn tournament, and then next thing you know, on the same night that he won that damn tournament, he had to lose the title back to John Cena. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And this comes from a John Cena fan. I was a ride die John Cena fan. I still to this day. I was with everybody on that night. I said, please don't let Ray lose that title. You mean don't let Ray lose that title? Like, and Ray ended up winning the title. He didn't win the WWE Championship, only for it to lose right back to John Cena. I was like, okay, now they're doing too much with John Cena. That was too much. That was like, come on now, really, really, like Ray's my boy. Now Ray's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time too. As well, he's my favorite masked wrestler of all time. Uh, he's my favorite luchador of all time. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's getting done dirty like this shit, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what in the world was that? Like, what was the point of making a tournament? You might as well just give the title back to John Cena at that point without even making a tournament. But that's not here, that's not there. It's just for excitement, I guess, buzz, you want to call it. And CM Punk and John ended up having their own feud. CM Punk ended up winning, going on having a historic, title reign. Then you can have John Cena versus The Rock happening. You know what I'm saying? Going above CM Punk as the main event, which is stupid to me. In my opinion, CM Punk should have been the main event. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho should have been the main event of that WrestleMania instead of The Rock versus John Cena. But because The Rock and John Cena were bigger superstars than CM Punk, they make that match, and The Rock won. Then they ran it back next year, I believe. And John Cena won the Royal Rumble. Obviously, CM Punk lost his title. They had that infamous Raw match to the winner who will go to face The Rock at WrestleMania. One of the best, probably one of the best Raw matches of all time. I highly recommend you go do that. They was doing some crazy shit. Him and CM Punk was doing some crazy shit. That was absolutely amazing. You know what I'm saying? That was the last time going against each other up to that point. You know what I'm saying? Until recently. You know what I'm saying? And it was pretty good. It was fantastic. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of people's WrestleMania main event right there. And of course, John ended up winning, beating CM Punk, and to go get The Rock to win the WWE Championship and beat him again because he had to get his lick back. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. Um, you know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much it. He was able to, move on, this attitude, like this era and all of that, win his title, going back and forth or whatever. Obviously, him versus Bray Wyatt was pretty good too as well. I thought Bray needed that to win, personally me, but Bray ended up losing. But you guys get back and pay back, but it would be better if he won at WrestleMania. And then of course you have AJ Styles versus John Cena. When AJ made his debut in the WWE, my first thought was him versus John Cena, him versus Randy Orton, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Those are my top three things. I never thought we would ever get those three things, and we eventually end up getting those three things with AJ Styles around. And AJ Styles is my favorite TNA wrestler of all time. Without AJ Styles, there would be no TNA. Sorry, but that's just facts. That nigga was good. Um, yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And when they first went up against each other, pretty good. AJ Styles win, really good match. Second time to go against each other, one of the best matches that John Cena's ever had. Pretty good match. Royal Rumble, I believe. John Cena beat AJ, and they had a fantastic match. It was even better than the first one. Then recently, the World Tour, the final World Tour of John Cena's farewell tour, he ended up beating John Cena. He ended up beating AJ Styles again, but they had even a good. Someone said they had even a better good match. Me personally, the best farewell tour match of John Cena to me was AJ Styles versus John Cena. That was really good. That should have ended right there for John Cena. He could have just hang up his boot and call it quit right there. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and that was a really good match. Really good match. That was really good. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was really good. And then of course the him versus Roman Reigns, that infamous fucking pipe bomb out of writing stuff that went down. John Cena was roasting the hell out of Roman Reigns in his promos because Roman Reigns' promos, he was all right, you know, so he could have been better. And John Cena was like, "It's called promo, kid. If you really want to do all that, this and that." And then Roman was like, "Fuck it," you know what I'm saying? I think you're more of a fake ass bitch, you know what I'm saying? He said that shit. I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, Roman. Yeah, tell John Cena he's a fake ass bitch. He said that. I was like, yes, yes, Roman. Fuck the script. Go on, go at his ass. Tell how you feel. Let these people know. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Like it took John Cena motivation to tell him to call a promo, kid. You don't know how to do a promo. He was on his way trying to bury Roman Reigns because you know how John Cena like to bury people when it comes to like to his promos and everything. He did it with Austin Theory. He was about to do it to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns said, more than a fake ass bitch." And he stood up. He's like, "Okay, good, good." They say Roman Reigns, even though people were still hating and booing on him for no reason. But anyway, besides that though, um, yes, they had their own match. Roman beat John Cena, passed the torch to him a little bit, and then a couple years later, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus John Cena again. Had a really good SummerSlam match, put him over. I really thought that was his last time we were going to see John Cena fight in WWE ring, but he didn't announce his farewell tour until 2024. And then he has a world tour. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I was there from the beginning all the way to the end. Um, all of that. Um, um, and his last match was against Gunther, which happened a week ago, and yeah, he lost that one. And that was it. That was like my favorite moments. You know, what I'm saying, from John Cena throughout my wrestling career. Been a fan of him since I was 3 years old, currently 25. The fact that he was able to you know to inspire so many people of that little never give up thing. To me, it's like his slogan, "Never give up," has always been inspired to so many kids and so many adults when they're going through some lot of shit. Like I've gone through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, throughout my life, and I never give up shit. Always kept that going for me. You know what I'm saying? I've never ever had a WWE shop, type of, never ever had a WWE item, shop, type of, shirts and everything. I never had a WWE, type of wardrobe growing up as a kid. I never had none. Never had none. I don't even have none for Johnson's currently, world tour shit. You know what I'm saying? Last time is now stuff. I really want to get that one because, obviously the last world tour came in St. Louis, of course. I got to get that. It was the most selling. It was the most selling T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I think this year. For John Cena's farewell tour from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Found the final times now. I think it's probably sold out and all that, but that's not here. That's not there. Um, but still, I had a good time though. It was really good though. It was very, 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 very good of all very goods. I I like that shirt that they did. Now everywhere he goes to, he always bring out these new shirts and everything, and all that. It was pretty fun. It's pretty cool. He had like 30 plus dates and all that, but yeah, that's not his, not there. Yeah, man. And speaking of which, though, dude, he became the 17-time world champion by beating Cody Rhodes. Also, another thing that was good about the now I'll never forget to as well, he beat Cody Rhodes, become 17-time world champion. Although the WrestleMania event was one of the worst WrestleMania events of all time, but he won it by becoming the 17-time world champion. I'll take that. He beat Ric Flair's record. Intercontinental champion. He beat Dom Mysterio to finally become Grand Slam. Thank God. And then he got that little run with AJ Styles too as well. That was like my top three favorite things that happened in the World Tour, John Cena. Fair World Tour, John Cena. But I'm gonna explain that in the next video and all that. So yeah, so many things I could go list upon list. It's like this could be like an hour long video of me talking about John Cena and going through the list of so many memories I have with this man. Like I said, he's a cool dude on and off camera. You know what I'm saying? He keeps shit real. You know what I'm saying? He'd get the job done. Winning all the titles. I see him win all of the titles from when I was a kid to like now, and to see him, go out, you know what I'm saying, I really wish he would have gone out, back in with Roman Reigns and that tribal chief thing versus John Cena. I thought that would be his last match, but no, it's not. But so that's nor here, it's nor there. But to see him, to finally go out his own terms and see what he's gonna do like in his next life after wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I can't wait for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to whatever movies or acting or whatever he's doing. I'm looking forward to that one. Can't wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he has so many things he wanted to do outside of wrestling, and a movie is one of them. I'm super excited for that one. Cannot wait for that one. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I feel like this is gonna be amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to it. I'm still always support him from here on out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a real John Cena fan would do support. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see. We go from there. And these are my moments, my memories of John Cena, and everything that I can honestly give my memories out to John Cena and everything else. Um, like I say, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. I figured at some point he was going to retire. I mean, the dude's like currently 48. He's literally like my mom's age. So of course, he was going to have to retire at some point. It makes sense, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense for him to do it. So honestly, I wish nothing for the best of him. Of whatever he going through going forward, and whatever he decide to do from here on out. Um, we'll have to wait and see. And I can't wait for his next adventure, with his movies and everything else. We'll hear whatever he does. I'll support him all the way. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like I said, my favorite moment of all time, obviously, is when he won his first WWE Championship because the time is really now for him, and that moment will stick out for me for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? And of course, my favorite matches again with John Cena is obviously it's him versus AJ Styles, the second one. That was just beautiful. That was like a really class 5-star match you should put on there. You know what I'm saying? But that's not here, that's not there. Obviously, this whole entire run that John Cena have to me is just very special. I'm gonna miss him. Well, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, when it's wrestling in wrestling ability, promo skills good. You can't see me. Five knuckle shuffle, put tighten up his little shoelaces. You know what I'm saying? Just his wrestling style is just pure, plain and safe. I'll never forget that he did the leg drop on top rope and he landed someone's head. Like like that's insane to do that. That's pretty cool. Um, what I'm saying? He at that time, you know what I'm saying? There's so many memories I could go over John Cena and everything else for hours and all that. But these are my memories once again from John Cena and everything else that I've known since I was 3 years old. And honestly, I'm grateful and honored to be in the presence of being a fan of John Cena over the years. And I wish nothing for the best for him. God bless his soul. And see what his next adventure going to, whether it's movies or anything else. I will support him for all the way there. You know what I'm saying? All the way from there, from here to wrestling ring to wherever happens outside the wrestling ring. My biggest fear right now is that Saudi Arabia somehow came up with the money to pay this man millions upon millions of dollars, whatever, and he comes back out of retirement. It wouldn't make any sense. This whole retirement tour is based off of him retiring. So hopefully this is for good. But if it's not, then fuck. I don't know. It's weird. It's gonna be weird for me, but hopefully this is for good. And but if it's not, then I'll be pissed off. But at the same time, hey, I guess you need to make up for that last match he made. But we're not gonna get to that though. Um, but no, let's man. That's it. That's pretty much it. I ain't got nothing to say about John Cena anymore. Thank y'all watching. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about John Cena's how you feel about John Cena overall? What's your favorite John Cena moments? You know what I'm saying? Your John Cena matches. How would you rate John Cena? You think he's top 5, top 3, whatever. Let me know in the comment sections down below how you feel about John Cena in general. To me, he's my GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. I wish nothing from the best for him. And And yeah, I can't wait for what's gonna happen going forward, and we'll see. We'll go from there. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and yeah, and as always, take care, mount, peace, and yeah, you can't see me.